So the most important thing in business and in life is your mindset. And it's honestly one of the biggest bottlenecks I see with all the guys we teach inside Club Closer. And a lot of people I just have conversations with that aren't exactly where they want to be. And it's a root cause of most of your problems is your mindset. Whether you want to admit that or not, that is the case. And I struggled with it for years. And it took me a long time to realize that the minute I changed my beliefs is the minute I was actually able to change my reality. So in this video today, I really want to break that down and show you how you can start kind of rewiring your brain into a situation where you can achieve more, you do think more is possible, and ultimately you're going to get much better results in like whatever area that, whatever area that really matters to you. So this is very simple, and I wanted it to be simple. This picture is quite good. I mean, look, like this is you stuck in the bottle, whether that be the 10K a month, the quit the 9-5, start the business, get a 6-pack, or whatever your desired outcome is. Your beliefs are stopping you from achieving those things because a lot of people don't think those things are possible. And if you don't think something's possible, there's not a chance in hell you're going to be able to achieve it. So someone explained this to me quite simply, and I really like the analogy of like a map. Say you get in a car and you want to get to a certain destination. This is a map of London. Don't know, it just looked like it might hit some dopamine receptors, so I put it in. If you want to get from this cross to that other cross, across London, how are you going to do it? Well, the first thing now is you're going to put it in your phone and you're going to map it, right? You're going to map exactly, and it's going to tell you road by road, step by step, distance by distance, how you're going to get there. In 200 yards, turn left onto X street. In a mile, take a right onto this street. Go the second exit of the roundabout. You get the idea. So if you want to get somewhere in your life, you should adopt the same goal setting, direction taking mentality. You're not just going to be like, okay, cool, I want to get to this other X and just randomly start walking until, fingers crossed, you might end up in that end destination eventually, but you're going to take a very long-winded, windy path to get there. Now, I'm not here to say that if you set a goal and you set directions and you set tasks to get to that goal, you're going to get there in as straightforward as way possible. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes months. But you need to start having that frame of like, okay, that's my end destination and this is my plan to get there, right? And the biggest shift for me was when I truly took time to understand what I wanted, why I wanted it, and how I was going to get there. And like this framework is so beautifully simple that it's just very overlooked. Like if I was to ask you, like, where do you want to be in the next 6 months? What's the goals? What's the dream scenario look like for you? Yeah, sure, you might be able to tell me roughly what you're after. I'd love to make double my income. I'd love to get a promotion. I'd love to be in a lot better shape. Well, cool. Like what's the action steps you're taking on a daily basis that are actually gonna get you to get there? And as I said, it's so beautifully simple. Problem is actually getting to stick to it. So a couple things you can do. First and foremost is create a vision. Like actually think what you want. Make it as detailed as possible. I'll share mine now and you can copy it. I mean, I actually got this from when I joined Iman Gadzhi's program about 5 or 6 years ago. I think this is one of the first ones I created, and by all means go ahead and just like copy it if you so wish. But like, where have you got to now? Like where have you got to? What's important? What's the journey so far? I don't think that's that important as obviously where you want to get to. And these are the things that I wanted to get to. I wanted to make 6K a month from my real estate marketing agency. And yeah, you can have a brief read, like what actually was important to me. Obviously, a lot of this has changed, but still like very apparent. And then like my goals that I actually wanted to achieve. And then I won't share this because it is quite personal, but like a kind of Wikipedia page or a 6-month vision of like where you actually want to get to. Like, what does my future look like in 6 months? What does my future look like in 5 years, 10 years? Where do I really want to be? Like, can I actually vision that? Because the problem is, if you can't vision it, you're never going to get there. And you'll notice those people that, they always say to themselves like, oh man, I'll never be rich. I'll never start a business. I can never get in shape because I hate running, or You know, I just don't think it's possible for someone like me to achieve such things. And obviously, if you're telling yourself that, and that is the self-talk to yourself, you're never going to achieve those things. And that's always going to be a reality. So last thing, like affirmations, like what's the affirmations here? Obviously making 6K a month by November 2020 was the goal. Yeah, you get the idea here. But you can make something very similar. Like pictures work really well for me personally, but just writing that out and reading it every single day. And I even went ahead and made a like a fake bank account. Like when I started making money, I was like, cool, I want to at least have like 10K in the bank. Let's just put a number in there of what I want to achieve by a certain date. And I think all of this is edited. This isn't real. Of like what I wanted to achieve and what was coming in and how it was coming in. And I looked at that. I think I had that stuck up on my wall above my desk, above my laptop. So I looked at it and of course achieved that. But yeah, you got to create that vision. You got to know exactly what you want. You got to know exactly where you're going. And again, like this doesn't have to always relate to business, like fitness, whatever. Like if you want to get in shape, clearly you're going to have to exercise. Clearly you're going to have to eat good. Like all that stuff's important. And yeah, like read it every morning and night and really drill that shit into your head. Like really drill those beliefs and change those beliefs, the kind of person you are now to the kind of person you want to be. What's the gap? Where's the inefficiencies? What am I missing? What am I not doing now that, you know, 10K a month I would be doing? What if I did have a six pack, what would I be doing? And yeah, the first thing is just breaking those beliefs and really drilling it into yourself. Next step, obviously action. Like you need to take action on these things. Many people, again, have these goals, have these grand visions, but they never actually take the right actions to actually get there. So it's very simple. It's like, what actions actually matter? What actions are actually going to bring me closer to my goals and make them reality? Now, going back to like when this first hit home, it was me trying to start the agency. And I was at university, I was studying, I was working my job at Red Bull. So I didn't have all the hours in the day. And I was like, cool, well look, like I want to start this agency. I want to get to that 6K a month. How am I going to do it? What's actually going to move the needle for me at this stage? And really it came down to a few key things. First and foremost, it was actually getting good at sales. Like sales is the main thing I focused on. I said, cool, I'm going to study sales for an hour a day. I'm just going to continue to get good at it. Next thing was obviously finding clients to reach out to. So I'd spend a lot of time scrolling the internet, going on Google, finding ideal clients that I would pitch my agency services to. I think I had like 10 to 20 a day was the goal. As long as I hit 10 at least a day, I'm doing good. And then it was like, okay, well, reach out to 10 businesses. Reach out to those 10 businesses you found and pitch your services. So I just film a custom video, a custom Loom video, pretty much what I'm doing now, explaining why I could help, what's wrong with their business, what's wrong with their online advertising efforts, and how I could help. And if I did those three things, those are the three controllable things. I knew if I tick those every single day, I'm taking the right action, I'm moving in the right steps. That combined with that belief and that clear vision got me to, I think, 10K a month in under 3 months. And previously I was like, how does anyone have a 10K a month agency? I didn't believe it. But just because I drilled those thoughts into my head every single morning and night, was I able to make it happen. Where's the evidence of this? Because obviously, like, who am I to say that you should do this, and who am I to say it's going to work? Well, it's everywhere. Any successful person ever that I've met or I've read about or I've researched and I've studied says that your mindset is your number one thing that's going to make the difference between you and them. If you read any self-help book out there, the number one thing, any business book out there, the number one thing they talk about is your mindset and making sure you master your mindset first. Just a key example here would be, I'm literally reading right now Robert Kiyosaki's Not Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of his guides to investing. And literally within chapter 1, it talks about the mindset. You have to have the right mindset to go into investing. You have to believe that you can do these things. You have to break those beliefs that you think you're going to be poor. You think investing is for the rich. You think investing is only possible if you've got a shitload of capital to start with. It's not true. You have to break those beliefs. First, build up new beliefs in order to achieve new things. Favorite book on this is Psycho-Cybernetics. Really recommend anybody reads that, because that talks about breaking these beliefs. And it sounds woo-woo, but the evidence is out there and enough people start talking about it. Red car theory is another one. You ever notice that, you think there's not that many red cars, but guarantee you, spend the next day looking and seeing how many cars you can spot that are red. I guarantee you'll see way more than before. And because your energy and your focus is on that thing, you will see and you will attract more of them. There's not suddenly more red cars, you're just spotting more because your attention's there. So if your attention's on, oh, poor me, I'm never going to achieve anything I want to achieve, yeah, damn right, you're never going to achieve anything you want to achieve. But if you switch to belief and you're always looking for opportunity and you're always seeing the good, that's where things will start happening for you. Now, I want to finish on one story here that this really hit home for me was I had this picture on the left on my vision board. And for me, it illustrated, it wasn't on my first one, the one I just shared with you. It was on one a few years back, but I think it was 2020, it was. So I had this picture on my vision board and I just got it off Pinterest. No significant meaning, just thought, cool, looks like a cool hotel. Let me stick it on there. And the whole point being like, I want to be able to travel the world and make money from wherever I want. That was the goal. And me and my girlfriend had a trip planned to Bali. I just finished uni. I was making money with the agency. And I kind of stopped reading this vision for a time. And it was during COVID, lockdown happened, couldn't go to Bali. And we were pretty upset. So we were like, right, where is open? Where can we go? And we booked a trip to Mexico. And we traveled around Mexico and Central America for a bit. Anyway, I got home and I was doing it. I was living the life I wanted to. I was making money, working remotely from all these different hotels. And I was like, cool, let me go back to that vision and just have a look and see what I've achieved of that I made kind of a year ago, 6 months ago, can't remember the time frame. And I remember looking at this picture, being like, damn, that picture's really familiar. And then I realized like, I've actually stayed in that hotel. That hotel is, can't remember the name of it. It's on an island in Mexico called Isla Holbox. And we booked it 2 nights before we arrived at the hotel. Just found it on like booking.com and booked it and went and stayed there for a week. And I didn't know this picture was on my vision board, didn't think about it, there's no link. I stayed in the exact hotel that was on my vision board that I had no idea even existed. And there's a picture on the right of me staying there. I didn't take any pictures, but I believe those chairs are like these ones here, which is kind of funny. Granted, sure, I had food poisoning for the whole week, but point being, like, everything you've ever wanted is far more in reach than you think. You just first have to believe it, and second, actually take the action steps to get there.